This one's for the dads.
Hello guys, welcome to my world of fragrance. Today's video is all about fragrances that are suitable for dads or for, let's say, grown-ass men, right? So I've got you all covered, the casual dads, the cool dads, the hot dads, I don't know, all the dads, I've got you covered. So stay tuned to see what I have in store. So we're gonna start off with fragrances that are classically gentleman-y or dad-like. I mean, you don't have to be a dad to be a gentleman, but these are the fragrances that your mind immediately goes to when you think about a, not mature, but a man who has his ish together, has his life together. And it's usually a Cologne that comes to mind, or a Fougère. This is a really great dad brand because they're actually quite affordable. GOF Trumper. It is a UK brand. This fragrance was released in 1980, but it is still a very relevant type of fragrance. It is a Cologne, but it's a lemon where the lemon is quite mature, and then there are caraway seeds in here as well. So it has this little edge. It's kind of like a cool granddad edge. I really love this personally. And I just think in general, you should check out this brand if you're looking for some colognes that are very gentleman classy, then this would be a brand for you. The next fragrance is from the house of Guerlain. In my grown-ass women video, I featured Naïma by Guerlain, which is a luscious, passionate rose. For the males, I would recommend Jicky, which is a classic. This was originally launched in 1889, but of course it has been reformulated and changed, and this is a lot milder. This is the Eau de Toilette, but I would not want this to be any stronger, to be honest. A lot of these beehives that are EDTs, I normally say that I would prefer to have as an extrait version, Mitsuko and Vol de Nuit. But Jicky, I have no problem being a lighter fragrance. What's nice about this is, I mean, this was one of the first lavender fragrances. What's nice about this is that it is citrusy and sharp and has that fougère quality, but it's also warm. So there's also amber in here, and it's nice. It's like, it's fresh, yet it's inviting. It's classic, yet it's timeless at the same time. And I just really love this. I'm a sucker for lavender in general, and most males, I believe, are. Most males can rock a fougère, but usually it's maybe the 30+ crowd. But if you are younger than that, please do try a gentlemanly fougère. The next fragrance is kind of in a similar vein, also a fougère, but this is from Naughton and Wilson, and this is a 2019 release, so it is a lot newer of a fragrance, but it is still classy, yet slightly a little bit more modern because it has that contrast as well from being a fougère, but it also has vanilla that's in it. So I feel like this one, a broader age group. No, actually, scratch that. I feel like the same broadness would apply to both of these, but it is a very good price for the value because it is a fragrance that is long lasting. The ingredients are good, the perfumer is awesome, and usually creates for more expensive houses. So I feel like this one is a good value fragrance, and it's also one that smells a lot more expensive than it is. So I couldn't do a men's list, like a grown men's list, without including a fragrance that features pepper. Pepper to me is the quintessential put together, well-dressed gentleman. So not just any casual gentleman, but specifically a well-dressed gentleman in a suit. And this one is from another heritage brand from London. I mean, you can just imagine a person wearing a Savile Row suit, tailor-made, of course, wearing this fragrance. It's from Hugh Parsons, which is a house that dates back to 1925. This release is a lot newer than that though, and it features pepper, my favorite. I love pepper. So this has white pepper and black pepper, and it's also mixed in with some freshness. So it does have that cologne quality as well. You've got the citruses on top, and then there's vetiver as well in the bottom of the fragrance, but it does not become a dry, woody, bitter fragrance. It becomes also a little slightly warm fragrance in the dry down, which I love. I love that with a dad, for me, I like to be able to feel the warmth when I hug him, you know, like, or with a gentleman. I like to, as they pass by, you maybe feel a little bit of aloofness. They've, you know, got it all together, but then once you get to know them, they're just one big teddy bear. And I really love that about, well, I know that it doesn't go that deep with fragrance, but for me, if you can interpret it that way, I like that there is both the sharp citrus and the warmness to the base. So really nice pepper scent. If you're looking for other pepper scents as well, like that are more straightforward pepper, I really would recommend Poivre Samarcande by Hermès, the Hermès line. That one is, you know, pricey, but it's a very wonderful fragrance. There's also Black Pepper by Comme, Garçons. There's so many pepper fragrances that are just amazing, and I would always recommend a gentleman who can pull off pepper to wear a peppery fragrance. The next fragrance moves more in the warm realm of fragrances. It is Volutes by Diptyque. There are several from this brand that I would recommend to gentlemen. Vetiverio is also nice. There are, yeah, just a lot of offerings, but for this particular mood that I'm setting, the cozy dad in his jumper or in his sweater, wearing a warm tobacco fragrance, tobacco and honey mainly, but this is a lot more than that. This isn't just a pipe tobacco. This has all these other qualities. There's hay in here, there's immortelle. It's actually quite a complex tobacco fragrance, but it is one of the best for me, and I have the EDP. I would recommend this concentration, and nice one for the cozy dads. Another amazing fragrance for grown men is Mr. Sam by Penhaligon's, and this is a very macho take on the tobacco and vanilla, so the warm tobacco fragrance, but it also has a little bit more woodiness than Volutes has, and it also has a little bit more spiciness up top. So this one is more of a power, macho, giving off vibe, whereas Volutes is maybe more cozy, more come hither, also very nice for snuggling up with whoever, if you're on a date or whatever, it doesn't matter if you're a dad. But yes, this one is a really nice one, Mr. Sam, and most gentlemen like that one. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about is quite pricey, but if you have it, then you should get it. It is Rock Rose by Clive Christian. This one is also playing on all those classically masculine notes. So it has the fougère qualities, it has a prominent lavender in here. It's quite herbally. There's also clary sage that comes forward in this fragrance. And yeah, it's just a very straightforward macho fragrance. It's slightly ambery, woody as well in the dry down. It also has some pepper in it. It also has some cacao in the dry down to sweeten it up a little bit. But basically it is all of these things thrown together that we have previously spoken about what a perceived gentleman would smell like. So yeah, quite nice. The next fragrance is extremely classy, and it is also good value for money. It is Moustache by Rochas, and this one is a heavily benzoin laden fragrance. Benzoin is lighter than the gooey amber, but it still has that warmth to it. And this one is also a little bit woody in it. It's like the kind of fragrance that when you smell it, you don't really feel one thing standing out from the fragrance. It's just mixed together in a way that is very classy. It's slightly peppery as well, but yeah, it's not like something that I would call a citrus fresh fougère or anything like that. It's just its own thing. It's just really a great fragrance, very classy, and also will do well in the evenings. Sticking to the resins, but if you want something that is a little bit more heavy, powerful, a punch in your face, Moustache is classy and elegant and subtle. This is not subtle. This is not transparent, any of that. This is a Pow in Your Face Black Gemstone by Stephane. This fragrance is interesting because it smells like polished teak wood, which is this dark wood that they have. It's used a lot in temples in Southeast Asia and other places as well. But we're kind of sticking to the resins here, and then we're adding that interesting note of the teak wood as well. In general, it is that teak wood and then a bunch of resins. So very heavy, very powerful, very pow, pow, pow for the daring dad, I would say. So now we are moving to the leather fragrances, one of my favorite categories. And this is it's kind of a power fragrance. It is Godolphin by Parfums. Sorry if the bottle's a little bit dirty or whatnot. This is a saffrony, rosy, slightly fruity leather fragrance that will show you who is le boss. This fragrance has a lot going on. There's also orris in there. There's also a lot of herbally qualities in it. I mean, it really is a spin off of the classic leather, but just adding these little nuances on top to try to recreate it and make it a new thing. But I feel like they did a good job with it, and this one is a good one. Now lastly, we have another leather fragrance that is quite indulgent. So whereas Godolphin is more a take on like that Tuscan leather type of typical manly leather, this one is so unusual because it is actually a gourmand leather. So it's a leather that is nutty, it's slightly lactonic. It's a delicious leather, and I never thought that I would see the day. Well, actually, I do have another one that's a delicious leather. But anyways, leather and hazelnuts. It's an unusual combination, but trust me, it works. It is really, really inviting and warm and classy and luxurious. It smells extremely luxurious. So check this one out or try to get a sample set, which is what I did. And yeah, those are my choices for all of the grown men out there and for the dads, or if you're looking for a fragrance for somebody that you know is a person who has come to their own, they know who they are, and they wouldn't mind rocking a nice gentleman-y, classy scent. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Please leave me any feedback down below about these fragrances. Have you tried all of these? I doubt that you've tried every single one of them, but do let me know if you have, and I will see you in my next video. Happy Father's Day.